Hello, hello, crafty friends. Stacy here with my Tuesday creative session. And look at what we are going to be making today. I am using the Relaxing Waterside. That's the bundle I'm featuring tonight. But this is a fun portrait Z fold card. So look at that. You have a nice Z fold card. Super, super easy. But check out this fun scenery. We're going to play with some blending brushes and some inks, and I'll show you how to do a fun ombre type stamp. There you see I have two colors in the one stamp and then these fun cattails. I don't know if you can tell, but I used, yeah, there you go, a little shimmer. I used our new shimmer brush for the first time. This is the Golden Glow, so I will show you that. Yeah, so also in the video down in the description, there is a PDF for you. So you can just grab it. It's super easy directions. I'll go through them with you right now. Let me go through the cutting guide with you because you might want to craft with me tonight. So what I'm using is Misty Moonlight. So that's two pieces of 4¼ by 5½. You need another piece. I'm using Misty Moonlight. You use whatever you want. And that is 3¼ by 4¼ and then for my basic white here, this piece that makes my card, that's 3½ by 11. Then you need a piece of basic white for my front seam layer here, that's 3 by 4. And then I just have some scraps. I really didn't measure this, but just a scrap for my little sentiment because you might use a different sentiment. Inside, I have another piece of DSP that coordinates with my pack. That is cut at 3/4 by 3½. I have a piece of glitter cardstock. This is cut at 1/4 by 3½. And then my two striped DSP panels here, these are both cut at, did I give you? Oh yeah, they are 4 by 5¼ So whatever DSP you're using, you need two pieces, 4 by 5¼ and then one strip for the inside. Wow, the rain just started. So it is downpouring here in Florida. So I'm not sure if you hear that, and hopefully I do not lose my internet or anything with the storm. So, all right, this is what I'm using, Relaxing Waterside. This is the stamp set, really great stamp set, and this is the dies. And if you shop with me this month, you will get my tutorial free for my card class that I did last month. Go back in my videos and you'll find that. So more inspiration using this set. For my sand, I'm sure you all have lots in your stash. This is one of my favorite sets by Stampin' Up! At Seaside Wishes, but I'm using that little stamp set from there. So you might have something in your stash. And then I'm using the Waterside Retreat DSP. So this is 6 different design patterns. You get 2 of each. So you get a total of 12 sheets of paper, 2 of each of these. So this is the front side, this is the back side of this. And look at this. Love that paper. This is a really great lake set, great for fishing pictures. So this was out of stock. And if I'm not mistaken, it is back now. So I think that's everything I have to go over with you. I do have a lot of things ready to go, but I still will go through the little techniques with you. So I'm going to show you how to get this double effect of the stamp seal. I have my garden green. I'm sorry, this is old olive and pecan pie at the top. I'll show you how to do that easy without doing that the stamping, what is it called? Ombre, where you roll your stamp in there. Sometimes I would kind of contaminate my stamp pad. So I'll show you an easy way how to do that. I already stamped my Adirondack chair. This is stamped in Secret Sea on basic white, and I die cut that out. Here's all my pieces. I have my cattails, we'll color those. I have the little book, that's on Misty Moonlight as well. And I stamped it in Misty Moonlight. Okay, so here is the panels to my card. Let's get that. Let's move this out of the way for a second, and I'm going to bring in just to do some scoring. So remember that card base that was 3.5 by 11. Well, we just need to make 2 score marks on that. We need a score mark at 2 inches and one at 6.5. So I'm going to move to my 2-inch mark right here. And remember to be sure you are using our scoring and not the cutting blade. So you want at the 2-inch mark. Then I'm going to open up my arm and I'm going to move this out to 6.5 and do another one. Okay. That is all of the scoring that we need. So what you want to do with this is I have it facing me. Okay, so here's the 2 scores, and all you want to do is fold over and then take this top and fold like that. So you have a Z, mountain, valley, whatever you want to call it. But that's how you do the fold, just like that. So when it's laying forward in front of you, here's your 6.5. You fold that over, then take that where you scored it at the 2-inch mark and fold it that way. That's it. Super, super easy fold. And then I'm going to grab something to burnish with, just to hold that down. And I'm going to place this off to the side. Now, I just want to start getting some of these panels together. Again, super easy to put together. So I'm going to take one of my cardstock pieces, one of my DSPs, and those are just going to go down together like that. So I'm just going to adhere that down. Just like this. Okay. Then I'm going to take the other one, do the same thing. I just look at how pretty these seams are, right? On the back of this one, DSP. I just like getting some of the easy things out of the way. Sometimes I work the opposite and get the harder things out of the way. So there's not a rhyme or reason. Okay, so this is my top and bottom panel. So we can just set those aside for a moment. This is my panel that my white piece is going to go on. And then what I can do is I can take the bottom of my inside here, and I'm going to adhere these 2 pieces down. This one we'll put right at the bottom. This is at 3/4 by 3.5. And then I'm going to take my glitter, and you can use foil or another offsetting piece of DSP. I just love to always accent everything in glitter. Put that right there. Okay. Did I go a little over? No, we're good. Okay, so now any stamping you would want to take care of that now. So I'm just going to grab Relax and my Misty Moonlight. I'll just duplicate this exactly the same way. I feel like this card could be used for so many different reasons. I could give this to someone. So here's to a new chapter, and Relax on the inside, I think is a good sentiment. Perfect. Okay, so now what you want to do is either using a tear-in tape or some strong adhesive. And I think I'm going to use tear-in tape because I feel like I always rip this actually, it's like heavy cardstock, and I feel like sometimes I'm a little too heavy with that, and I pull the tape back. So I'm just going to use some tear-in tape. So I want to put tear-in tape on the back. Well, the bottom side. We'll call that the bottom, the underneath of that. So that's where I'm putting some tear-in tape. I think that's plenty. I don't need 3, but I overdo everything. And then we are going to take those backs off. Again, this card, I'm just trying to work easy things to the harder. And we'll say the harder things are going to be our ink blending, which it's not hard, it's fun. Okay, so all you want to do is, let me just zoom in a little bit here. So you're just going to take this, right? Here's the top of our Z. There's my adhesive underneath. And all you want to do is get that centered to what you think is the best. And when your designs have lines, it makes it a lot easier. And then just press that down. You're getting the idea, right? There you go. That's your super easy Z fold. So I'm just going to set this aside now. And I'm going to come in with, yeah, I think we're ready to do our ink blending. So I'm going to bring in some scrap paper. I don't need this right now. All right. So, oh, actually, before we do our scene, do you want to do, yeah, we'll do our scene first. That's okay. I think that's good. All right, so let me get my stand set up for the scene. So what I'm going to be using is gray granite for stamping up the seagulls. For my sky scenery, I played and did two blues. So if you joined me for my card class and I was doing some sky inking, I was only using balmy blue, but I liked the little added depth that the misty moonlight, just super light, brought on top of that. So that's how I did my scenery. And then for my sand, I'm using pecan pie. Okay, so that's all the colors. So I'm going to start with my pecan pie. I have my blending brushes right here. Okay, and I just want a little bit sand, not too high up. Let me zoom in. So not too high up. I always turn to the side. So I kind of just want to stay lower here. If you see in my card, see, I don't go up too high in the sand. So I'm going to try to do the same thing. Just a little bit of ink on here. There's probably plenty on here from me playing with this one. So again, the way I do it is I start off my paper and then just start very light. I always start very light that you can barely see it, just to make sure I don't get any of those harsh edges, because you always can continue to keep coming in and reapplying. So I think that height is good enough. I'm not going to go above there. I'm going to get a little bit more ink. Okay. I'm just going to try to fully coat that whole bottom area. And again, you just keep coming in and reapplying. And then, your pressure can start to get harder. And you can press down a little more firmer as you have a lot more color down, because you're not going to, not ruin it is the right word, is the wrong word to use, but get any of those harsh marks. And if you follow me, I've shown you and talked about, and I've done that so many times. All right, so I'm just adding some more sand coloring to the bottom here, and I think that is good. Okay, so now I'm going to, actually, since I have this out, let's keep with that. I'm going to get a piece of scrap and I'm going to get that sand stamp. Now, this is optional. You don't have to do this. And I want to do second generation. So I'm going to stamp my sand once and then stamp my paper second time. So it's lighter. See? And it's just kind of faint. You don't have to have a lot here. Because a lot of this is going to get covered up, but it will poke through in the background. I think that's good. Okay. All right. So that is that. We are done with our pecan pie. So now I'm going to use the balmy blue. And I'm going to do the same thing now for my sky. And I want to make sure I don't contaminate and go off where I had the brown, right? So I'm going to start up top here. So let's make sure we're good. Oh, do you hear that thunder? Sorry, I'm like off camera. So see how this balmy blue is kind of light, which I love. I love balmy blue for sky scenes. But when you add the misty moonlight on top, you just get a little bit different of a depth of blue. Although these two colors looks absolutely beautiful together. And I'm sure it's not picking up great in the camera. Okay, beautiful. Okay, I'm gonna move this up because I don't want to contaminate. Beautiful. I think it's perfect. I don't want to ruin it, but I just want to try to push with some hard pressure to get some color off my brush and down. And I think that is just enough of the balmy blue. Okay, so now watch how this changes just a little bit. I'm gonna come in with my misty moonlight. Okay, look at how dark this is. You see the difference from the balmy blue? Okay, so I'm really tapping hard. And I'm just gonna lightly, getting a lot off, okay, lightly just go over. And again, remember, you can add uh, more depth by how firm you go, and you can always come back. So just start very light and then start to press down. See how much that changed? It took it away from a turquoise to a blue. It's got really nice depth. I love it. I love it. I love it. And in person, it just looks so much better in person, I'm telling you. You must believe me. Okay, so that is that for our scenery of inking. Oh no, it's not. We have to do our birds. So I'm gonna next take, let me get this out of the way. I'm going to take gray granite. I already have my seagull. Let me get some scrap. I always like to just stamp off first. So when I first did this underneath I was first going with a different sentiment. So there is, see, you can see there's another seagull under there. So I want to be a little mindful of that, how I'm keeping this now. And that's why I had this seagull going off the paper because it looked like they were kind of flying. But then when I had to change my sentiment up, it really didn't work out for me. So here, I'm giving you a little secret. But anyway, I'm going to be more mindful of that. And on this one, I'm going to put them more uh, together and maybe one low in like the background here. So that's what I'm going to shoot and hope to strive for. Okay. So I want one super low, maybe going off the page. Good. And so I'm going to try to keep one whole one here and one whole one there. We're just going to go two. So one on top. Good. And it's okay. See how it dries up lighter? It's perfect because it's in the scenery of the sky. So we're going to put another one here, right there. Good. Okay, I think we're good. Should we put a little bit, maybe a little of the body here? Am I going overboard? Really want to get one right. I wish I can get right there, but I'm not that talented. Maybe we'll get a little piece of one at the top here. Okay. Okay. All right, I'm happy with that. All right, so I'm done with all of this. Okay, I do need my pecan pie now and my old olive. That's next. I'm going to get my scenery out of the way. Just let that dry out a bit. Now we're going to, let me flip this over. Now we're going to play with, we're going to do some ink blending. And we're going to do this ombre and we're going to do these cattails. So if you get this uh, die set, this is really cool. So let's do that first. So I'm using my dark pecan pie, and I'm just going to use the brush tip. And all I'm going to do is paint, so to speak. It's so easy with this brush tip. Just the tip of those cattails, just like that. Okay. So, or any color you have, that will do. That's all you need that for. Okay. So just let that dry a minute. Okay, they do get pretty dry. Okay, now the shimmer brush, right? So whenever I work with shimmer brushes, shimmer pens, I love to have a piece of scrap. So I'm going to put my cattail in a scrap right there so you can see this. So look at how nice and juicy. Now, let me tell you something. When you get one of these, oh, actually, I have another one. Let me show you how you do it. So I don't have to mess with this one. Okay. So when you get a brand new one, I haven't opened this one yet, so we're in luck. We can show you. See that white? That needs to come off. So what you're going to do is you're going to unscrew this. You're going to pull that off. Then you're going to screw this back on. Okay, you'll feel it. It like kind of gets in place. You're going to shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it real good. And then it has these nice push, and you squeeze, and you'll see, watch in the chamber here as I squeeze. Let's see, it's going to start to fill in, but maybe I got to hold it down. When it's new, you got to get it started. Here it goes. Okay, look. You'll see it's starting to come on the tip there. I don't know if you can see it. See it as I press it? See? It's starting to fill up. I don't want to keep squeezing it because I'm not using this one right now, but you get it. You see how my tip is starting to fill up with all the ink. So you keep shaking, shaking until you squeeze. And once you get it totally filled in, then it'll just be like my brush now, totally filled in. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just lightly squeezing, and I'm putting a nice thick layer, just going over it a few times over the top of that cattail. Look at how pretty this is. This is the golden glow. Okay, there you go. Probably hard to pick up in the, but look at all that sparkle in there. That's what it looks like. Okay, so we're gonna let that dry. We're gonna do the same thing on this one. Just adds that nice touch, right? And I'm sure you all have some type of shimmer brushes in your stash. So we'll let that dry. Okay, next we're gonna do this little ombre of the seagrass. So remember our sponge daubers? We're gonna use our sponge daubers. It makes it quite easy. So using the old olive, I'm going to, where's my stamp? Here's my stamp. Okay. Now, here's the tips. That's what I only want in the pecan pie. See those tips like right there and these? The rest I want to try to get in as much old olive as I can. So that's exactly what I'm doing. So I'm just going to stamp where I see the stems. I'm just going to daub. I'm not stamping, I'm daubing. Right? And then if it overlaps a little bit, that's okay. That's your ombre look. Then I'm going to come in with my pecan pie, and I'm going to try to get those tips now. See, I went too far. Let's see if I can get the green over that. Okay, I did. I was able to do that. Cool. And that'll have a full ombre look. Okay, so now Fun, right? We'll do it again. So I'll do the small one now. Here's the small one. Okay, so we want to do the tips. It's easier to see that way. So you have a few tips there. We want to do them in the pecan pie. It doesn't have to be perfect, where you meet the pecan pie and the old olive. And then we'll get the old olive, do the rest, and then make sure you have it neat. It's okay that it overlaps on your daubers. You're not ruining your ink pads. Looks pretty good. Perfect. And then when it dries, it lightens up a little bit the color, and then you have a fun ombre seagrass. Okay, so that was that. I already have mine ready to go. Like I said, just for this scenery, whatever you're using, you would obviously cut out your die cuts for. And I'm just using the book here. Um, and here's my sentiment, and then we're going to get to our chair, coloring that just to show you how to make it look a little bit weathered. All I'm going to do here is adhere this down, and this to me looks like it's 1 by like 1 and something, I don't know. Just going to get this adhered down. This was truly scraps. Okay. And I'm going to take a scissor. How about that? Okay. So there is our sentiment. So that is good. Let's take up a little smidge there. Okay, so now our chairs. So if you were with me over the weekend, right, I had a few chairs that looked different and I weathered them a little different. But this one, if you see, because I did it white, I wanted it to be a little bit more whitewash. So I think I got that effect doing this, but I didn't overdo it. So how I did that was with 3 blending brushes. I used the light and dark gray granite, and then I just used my color lifter and just kind of blended the colors together. So I'll just show you what I did. So I first want to use the light, and I'm going to use the chisel tip. And what I want to do is just color, like do some lines, right? Nothing perfect. See what I'm doing? I hope this is picking up. I'm doing a little bit more on this one. Maybe like edges. Okay. So you see, I just kind of went, that's going to be covered, so we don't need to worry about it, but okay. So that was using my light. Now I'm going to come in with my dark and I'm going to use my brush tip now. Actually, I'm going to use my chisel tip, same way. And I'm kind of going to do the same thing. Bring it down a little bit more, going the tips here. Okay, so just like that, I kind of did the tips. I'm gonna extend this a little bit. Put a little mark there, right? Maybe put a little mark here. I think that's good. Okay, how's it? Oh, we didn't put any. Okay, I think that's good. How cool does that look? I think it looks really cool. All right, now what we're going to do is take that color lifter, and I guess this is the right way to use that. Here, I'm going to use the brush tip. And now what I'm going to do is just kind of go over and like swipe, like bring down the color. I'm not going over the lines, I'm staying in, but I'm just kind of, it's like blending it. Okay. I'm just coloring over. So see how it kind of like melts the colors together. I don't know, but it does work. So this is the color lifter. It's the first time I've ever used it was today. And even I'm just going over everywhere I did, and it kind of, yeah, I like it. Um, cool. Okay, I'm happy. Happy, happy. Okay, now I want to build my scene. So what I'm going to do is we're going to come in again. Let me get all this here. I'm going to come in with my card base. I'm going to take what we inked up and adhere that down. To this Misty Moonlight. Okay, so what you want to do is take your panels now, okay? Zoom out a little bit. So here's my Z top. Remember, it's connected. So right here, we're going to put some tear and tape on that flap right there. And again, you can use strong adhesive. I wouldn't use liquid glue. I probably wouldn't do that. But you can certainly use tear and tape. Okay, so now you're going to kind of hold that down and line up and then just put down because all that's going to get adhesive is just the lower portion here. Okay, so you just want to make sure you're lined up good. And then bite it down. So now it's connected. So that's that. All right, this I did use foam tape. So I'm going to pop that up. Thank you for catching today's video. I hope you enjoy my crafting style. I like to do easy, duplicatable, replicatable, easy crafting, right? Not something that is going to take rocket science for you to follow my tutorial or figure out, or at least watch this video, print out the tutorial, and then sit and craft and know exactly what to do. And if you're in my private group on Facebook, be sure to post if you create this. Okay. Now we're just going to center that. All right. So just building my scene here. So I want some adhesive on my sentiment. So I'm going to put that down first. Again, just working what I think easiest to hardest. So you just want to get that down. Here's to a new chapter. And we're going to put that right. Oh, perfect. Right. Oh, how's it? Oh, good. And I'm not even close to that one. Perfect. We're going to put this right about there. Love it. Love it. Love that. Okay. Much better. Okay. And then here's where my chair is going to go. Okay. So I can put my book on my chair. I can get that down. So let's get some adhesive there. So that's just going to go on the arm here. Just like that. Okay. So now I want to take my long seagrass and lay it there. So I'm going to put adhesive just on the back of this leg and then line up how I want that. Okay, so it just holds it in place for a minute. Okay, and then now I can put this down where I want. Just like that. Looks pretty perfect to me. I'm going to let me grab a little piece of Scotch tape. Just to tape this guy together here. Just while I adhere it down. Okay, I am going to use this tape runner to make life easier. I don't rip anything. Okay. And that's okay. See how that bird's a little behind the chair? That is perfect. It's perfect for the scenery. Hold on, hold on, hold on. Okay. Just like that. Then we're going to take this little one and we are going to get some adhesive on it. And this one we want back here. See where I'm placing that? And then put it down. So you want to get some adhesive under that. Now, I want to take my cattails. I'm going to put one right here, but I don't want it in the chair. So I'm going to just put adhesive on the bottom. Okay, and then position it just like that, and then push it down. See? Okay, so my other one, I just want to put over here. Same thing, I'm just going to put adhesive at the bottom so the top of the cattails are kind of flappy. Just put that there. All right, and then these trinkets, which I love, go back to my video and I show you right in the beginning how to tie this knot. I ain't messing with it today, but I'll show you how to tie that little knot. It's just, yeah, tries your patience. But anyway, today I adhered this using glue and it worked beautifully. So I just put glue all on the anchor. Because that's a flat part. Okay, and it dries clear. So it's okay. Then I just put this down and I just pressed it and held it just for a minute. All right, next I'm just going to put a few shimmering dots. Going to use a couple of the white ones for the top there. Okay, that's good. And so I want one of the big ones. Actually, I'm going to put mine different on this card. I'm going to do more. Come on. I'm going to do more of a triangle. So we're going to put a big one here. So I'm going to use 3. A little one there. And a little one. Yeah, that's how I want it. All right. Let me clean up my desk. Get all this out of the way. And show you our card. Now, I did go a little darker on my sky, as you can see here, and I went a little darker on my sand. So again, It's up to you. Each one is beautiful. This one's a little lighter. As you can see, I was even a little lighter with my chair. So maybe I was a little scared first try at it, second try. I was a little more frisky, went a little darker, and made my chair a little more weathered looking. So yeah, you just keep getting better every time you do it. And I cannot wait to see what you make. So I hope you enjoy this video. I hope you enjoy all my videos, and leave me a comment down below. And I hope you recreate this. So happy crafting. Thanks for sticking with me and watching today's video. And be sure to come back weekly for my creative sessions. And then I do a monthly free card class. And I have all my tutorials and everything online. So everything's in my description. You'll be able to find all that. I don't need to bore you with the information, but have a wonderful night. Take care now.